Let's learn today. It's Bridge Made Simple.
If you are playing with multiple partners, I mean, how many of you play with multiple partners? Yeah, I think it's pretty normal. I do. I know a lot of players do. BBO, sure. But I'm talking about multiple partnerships where you really know your partner. So it's not like just random partners. Because random partners, who cares? But with partners that you are gonna play with multiple times, you're playing with the same two or three partners once a week or however you're doing it. Um, what we want to do, what I'm going to encourage you to do, because I think this does come up, is play the same card with everyone. Play the same card with everyone. It is very difficult to play different cards with different people. Um, I know that different players have different levels of skill. So default to the convention card that the weakest player is comfortable with, and then play that with everyone. There are always temptations to add things that are different. I once was playing in a regional, and we were going to play Family Berkowitz team. Very cute. Me and my father and my mother and my sister. And we filled out a convention card on the way, and we said, we're all going to play the same thing. Everyone's going to play this so that we don't have any misunderstandings. And then we sit down. I'm playing with my father for the first session. And he says, okay, well, what do we do in this situation where the diamond and no trump? And I said, we have no agreement. We're just going to play bridge. And he says, no, that's not okay. We're going to play this convention here. And then we're going to play this convention in this situation. And he added a whole bunch of things. And I was terrified of forgetting any of the 20 things he added to the convention card. And I played terribly because he didn't cater to this. And again, he's a world-class player, but he wasn't used to the idea that you have to play what the weaker player wants to play. So he confused me, and I had a miserable time trying to remember it. If you do have differences, make a short little post-it note that has the differences between players. Keep it in your convention card of what your partner is different. Uh, you can write it on your hand, but it's not the most efficient way to remember what things your partner needs and your partner doesn't. But it's really good to have. I I know I know it's impossible to keep the same exact card with everyone. So if you have a few different changes, it's okay. It's not my preference, but it's okay to remind yourself with a little note of what this person does that's different than the other thing. Because you just don't want to ever have misunderstandings because of who you're playing with. Review anything new. Uh, Anytime you add something to your group convention card, review it with that partner before the thing because it might come up and you might not remember. Um, it's always good to do that, particularly for conventions that haven't come up yet. You know me, I don't really want you adding a whole lot to your convention card. That said, it happens. We do add stuff. Make sure you're reviewing. When you do add stuff, by the way, that's a great time to go and do that BBO practice that I was showing you, where you can control for the situation. Because to me, when you add something to your convention card, you've added Texas transfers. Okay, you didn't play Texas transfers before, but now you're adding Texas transfers, which we talked about earlier today. Well, it's not going to come up that session. I mean, it might, but it might not. And it might not come up the next session, and it might not come up the next session. And then by the time it does come up, you've forgotten. It is really good to bid 100 hands where you might or might not use Texas transfers, but they're like the right general situation. So you can set up hands where it's going to generate the computer is going to generate all these deals that are potentially Texas transfer deals where one of you has a no trump opener and the other one has a 6 card major. And maybe you only have 4 points. Maybe you have 14 points, and maybe you're going to use all of it. But you're going to have those situations come up a lot in those deals, and you can like fly through them. Those sorts of practices are much better than adding a convention and then trying to play it immediately and hoping that it comes up in the wild, because it doesn't come up in the wild that often. You can also add a convention as part of a class, because then again, you're going to get a lot of practice with it. So make sure that anything you added, you review it a little bit just so you remember it's on the front of your mind of, okay, this is new and different, but try not to add too much, please.